market recap for Tuesday, the 3rd of March 2026. Alright, so hold up. Let's just get rid of everything. Alright. This is one of them weird days, right? Because market opens up and it shoots down at Asia and then shoots at London as well, down. No manipulation, nothing, just straight shooting down all the way to the previous daily low. See, this was the expectation. However, what I expected is we're gonna hold Asia and London, and then we're gonna dump on New York either to at least the midpoint or even go to the low, right? But if we're gonna sweep the high, that's what I expected. I expected to sweep the high because this high to me is not good enough. So when I wake up and I see the market right here, right there, I'm like, okay, this is not how it's supposed to go down. So we're gonna come back up, right? That's just my initial thought. And on top of that, we're gonna have a large opening, right? Large opening range gap. So the idea here is like, okay, I'm looking for longs because liquidity wise, they're all up top. So what's the most perfect long? What would be the target? We need to see what lines up. So if we get discount or this whole range, you can see this green line. What's next to discount? Liquidity, London high. What's next to London high? Midnight open. That's it. And that was my perfect target for there. The issue is we're not ready to go up, right? And let me just explain why. So let's just replay. Replay at like market open. Well, this is 10 candle, right? If we look at this, how we expect it to go up when the high time frame is bearish? That's why it didn't make any sense to me, right? Look at this. High time frame is bearish. We not looking good, right? In terms of going up. We have a kind of a breaker. We have everything, every reason to go down in terms of high time frame. However, logically and algorithmically, we need to go up, right? This is out of date unless we do a specific thing at the opening range gap, right? So once we go on the opening range gap, and let's pull this back up, we can see we went to the lower quadrant. More time, if we're gonna go to the lower quadrant, we're gonna come back and fill at least the midpoint, right? Or just fill the whole gap. Like once we do this, I know we don't have an expectation of just continuing to dump to lower and lower prices. So what I'll go and do is see, okay, where we at on the daily. I see this wick on a market, right? And that gives me the low for our pre-session, which was the upper quadrant, right? So this liquidity is what we shot down to is um the daily. That was my objective for the week, right? These two relative equal lows right there was my objective for the week minimum, right? And then after that we can see if we're gonna head low. But clearly we went down for a manipulation run down into it and we're taking that low. So what should we do? We should go and go higher. But like I said, higher time frame at the current moment, this whole area, this whole gap, this isn't our gap reference, right? I'm not even gonna entertain, right? Of course we closed above this gap, but I'm not gonna entertain the idea of going long until I understand what we're gonna do with this, right? Because this for sure is gonna push price down, right? Because it's laid on top of this breaker, right? And many other BD arrays. So technically we should go down. So do you see the confusion, right? That we should go up, but the high time frame is saying no, we should go down. So in terms of intraday, market opens here at 9:30, shoots up, makes it a gap, right? Fully closes it. Don't like what I'm seeing. So we're not that bullish. So I have my eye on the initial liquidity. So let's just get rid of this now. And I have my eye on the initial liquidity. Okay. So I'm looking at all of this and I'm like, we could go lower. We could take this low and then maybe try again because then that would have made us push lower, right? And then keep this low intact. Okay. That's my thinking process right now. And at the time we create the first presented to go higher, and then we go through it instantly. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. I don't want to short because it's not in the model. So I'm just waiting to see what happens below the low. Waiting, 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 waiting. And I see that we expand through that low, right? So I'm just still marking high. Cool. Are we gonna go to the midpoint? No, we don't. Cool. So it's just a sweep on the low, and then we're going back. Right there, I'm thinking, all right, cool. Now the high time frame makes sense. We go up into it, we come down, take the external liquidity. All right, time to push, right? So I'm waiting. I'm looking at this. This is the last thing. If we're gonna be bearish and continue going lower, we should not go above this high, right? And inverse this gap. What do we do right here? We hold it, right? Perfectly. Go down. I'm looking at this gap. We're gonna support price. Yes. Alright, cool. We're bullish. Buy limit on this. Tag it. Cool. And I'm just waiting for us to move above this, right? Right there. Boom. We took this high. Another order block. This technically is like my proposal block, and because I entered in this, stop loss has to be at break even, right? Even though it's just not optimal, but it has to, right? And I want speed now from this candle, just straight speed up, so we can invest all of this and come back down. Okay, that's what I'm expecting, and we go break even. So now, if we just play this structure, let's just get rid of this and that. Yeah, I'm like, okay, we're kind of running out of time, right? Because my objective currently, I'm looking at, is so far, and we're already basically at 11, right? I'm expecting price to go to midnight open today. That's 370 handles basically. That's what model is telling me. It has to go there. So I'm like, it does not seem realistic, right? At the current moment, when price with this volatility, it does not seem realistic, right? So last try, we go all the way down to OTE. We hold this, right? We visit the initial change in state delivery, okay? And then rebounds. And this happens when we have, again, a gap in the whole run. We have to go down. It's the same thing, right? All right, so my last try is we need to get over this gap, right? And what you have to make sure this wouldn't count as an inverse. Why? Because I need to check it has a wick. I need to see the whole range of it. And as you can see, at this many 15 seconds, that was holding. So I'm watching this. I'm watching this. We go, and then close below. Right now, we close above midpoint. Cool. Now we close above it. Perfect. Right? Right there, and on the 5 minute, we literally close. Technically, a series of order block if you get on the right time frame. Right? That's how I'm seeing it. And that's why I have the CSD marked. I just want to see what happens, and I'll mark it by right there. One candle, cool. I'm expecting this to stay open. See this first presented? Hold the top. I'm expecting to stay open. Right. One candle, cool. This candle, next candle needs to go up aggressively. But it doesn't happen. So I close at break even. Right? I got scared out of the trade. But then the next candle does exactly what I expect. And from there, it's just a sad story straight to TV. You know. So I got the market right. I just scared myself out of the trade because, and I'm not gonna lie, I just not that experienced with this type of day, right? Like this type of Asia London dump, and New York hasn't already initialized like a pump, right? It's not gonna start pumping. Like New York, basically New York dumped. Um, I mean Asia, London, and New York basically dumped, right? I don't expect this. I barely or rarely seen it, right? So that's why I didn't have the confidence to hold this trade, and I really didn't want to lose on something that I was not that fully confident in, right? But for next time, I guess we know, right? And as you can see, price goes up, goes to the midpoint of the range, consolidates, and hits the midnight open, and see after that we start the consolidation to just basically close out the market. Nothing happens, right? Same range, blah blah blah, and nothing happens because we have reach our objective for the day. Right? So trade was perfect, right? We go to the buy side. Why also all of this? Because I'm looking at the 0.5. If we're gonna take this high out, what's the expected standard deviation of it? Is there. Let me flip it. You can see right there. So that's why I knew it was gonna go to midnight open with everything lined up. It's just the fact that it's done it so late in the 10:50 macro. This is why the reason this trade failed, because it was not the macro time. But sometimes it could just go up if it wants to, right? Sometimes it could do this, and you never know. So for next times, I will still enter this. However, if it's gonna give me this one, then I could re-enter and just have a stop loss at the low down here, and it should be all Gucci. If not, then I'm wrong. So I guess an addition to the experience, right? Not something I've seen, but something I could expect or look or target, right? So yeah. Overall, what do I expect for the market? Because I'm not convinced with this high, right? Because we should have swept this high if we're really gonna go lower. I do expect us to come and revisit this high tomorrow, right? Tomorrow or something like that, right? I don't, and this whole area we might could go lower and just treat this whole area as a breakup block with this gap, and then also a 50%. Whatever, I don't know. I'm in there. I don't know. We'll see until the market opens. So for now, just remove all the drawings. Have a clean day, and then we'll see. That's the market recap. Peace out.